Hello everyone and welcome back. In today's video we're going to be opening up and testing out this 10-piece brush set from One Leaf. They also sent over this huge nail art bundle brush set. I'm saving this one for a nail video because I can't really use this stuff on my face, but I just can't believe the amount of brushes that are in this set. Without further ado, let's see what the 10-piece brush set looks like. I love the little capsule that it comes in, mainly because it's not something that sits flat. Most containers for brushes are typically bags that lay flat, so naturally the brushes lay flat. I love that this stands up. That's how I literally store all of my brushes anyway, so this is perfect. This is exactly my vibe. And the brushes themselves are also this beautiful lavender color. Oh my gosh, those handles. Those are so beautiful. Let me take this packaging off because we've got to see this prismatic amazingness. You guys, I have never before seen handles like this. That is so beautiful. It's got green and purple and blue and yellow. It looks like an oil slick. By the way, did I mention these are $11.99 on Amazon? And they're so stunning. I have more expensive brushes that are just black. It looks like we have 7 brushes for the eyes and brows and 3 brushes for complexion. For the 3 face brushes, we've got a powder brush, a round brush, and a blush brush. Then for the eye set, we have a shadow brush, a flame brush, an eyeshadow brush, a concealer brush, a detail brush, a lip brush, and an eyebrow brush. I did go ahead and do my cream base off camera since none of the brushes are specifically designed for creams. Now let's put these gorgeous brushes to the test. I'm gonna start with the big pointed fluffy brush with some loose powder on it to set the under eyes. That fits perfectly right in that inner corner. If you turn it on its side instead of laying it flat like that, it's literally perfect for right there. Wow, and these bristles are super soft. Feels like air is running across my face. Now today I'm not setting the entire face because we're testing out the Urban Decay Face Bond Foundation and it's self-setting and I really want to test that out. If you'd like to see that video, if it's uploaded, I'll leave it linked up here or in the description down below if you want to check it out. But just know, that's why I'm not going to set everywhere like I normally do. Really just anywhere I put concealer, which was under the eyes and below the cheekbone. Okay, One Leaf, the pointed powder brush, she slays. For the domed round brush, this one seems like the perfect size and shape to use for all over the face bronzer. That literally is the perfect size for bronzer. As you press down, it spreads just a little bit to give you that really nice diffused look, and that's especially important for bronzer. I do not see a brush for highlighter specifically, so I'm just going to use the pointed powder brush and go into just the highlight on this palette, if I can. And we'll use this little point for a highlight instead. That should make it pretty concentrated where it shouldn't go everywhere. Knock on wood. Oh, yeah, that was super concentrated. I mean, that's a solid line. Let's blend that some. Oh yeah, I didn't set my face. Of course the highlighter is gonna apply in a strip. We'll just work that blend a little bit. I'm really glad, actually, that I went in with the powder brush then, because if that is the highlighter with powder, could you imagine what that would have looked like if I hadn't had any powder on the brush? Probably looked like a stoplight or a star. Shine bright, shine far, don't be shy, be a star. Oh, Mark and I were watching TV last night. I don't remember what it was that he said, but whatever it was, it reminded me of that song, So Long, Farewell to You, My Friend, Goodbye for now, until we meet again. And we sat there for like 10 minutes trying to remember where the heck that came from. He was like, Bear in the Big Blue House, and I was like, oh yeah, isn't it like a show within a show, Bear in the Big Blue House? Isn't it like it starts with this couple and there's a bunch of kids around and then they like zoom into a house and it opens and then there's Bear in the Big Blue House? Turns out we were both wrong, kind of. It's 2 separate shows. Bear in the Big Blue House and then the other show. I don't remember the name of it though. It was like Playtime Funhouse or something like that. But I remember the whole set, for the most part, was made out of painted cardboard boxes. And it was a black dude with dreads and an Asian chick. And I think they were a couple or something. Like I think she ended up pregnant. Do you guys remember the name of that show? Please help us. Anyways, let's get a little bit of highlighter above these brows. Ooh, look at that lift. Just like that. Boom. And this time, I don't think I can use this brush on the nose because she's a little wide. So I'm just gonna use my pinky and go ahead and get a little bit right here and a little bit right here. Oh, okay, well maybe she's a little intense. just a little bit. We now get to move on to the eye brushes, the lip brush, and the brow brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and prime my eyes, get ready for some eyeshadow, and we're gonna do a cute, easy, basic bitch little eyeshadow look. To start, I'm gonna use the eyeshadow brush and the Urban Decay Born to Run eyeshadow palette, starting with the shade Riff. And we're just gonna keep this really soft and blown out. Oh my gosh. The softness of these bristles is so nice. Like, it's a whole experience, and it's only 12 bucks for the whole set. I am noticing a few of the brushes with the bristles, they have some uneven endings. Trying to get where you can see it. Yeah, there's just a couple little extra bristles that go a little bit longer than the actual dome of the brush, but that's not a huge issue. Again, $12, you know? And all you gotta do is just grab some lash scissors or regular scissors if you want. I prefer lash scissors because they're super teeny tiny, but you can reshape it yourself. Cut a little tiny bit into the top and get rid of those extra long bristles, and you got it all even again. I've actually taken some of my blender brushes that are flat-ended, kind of like this one actually, but I've turned them into more like this, where it has that dome to it, just by taking those two edges off, and you have like a V-shaped brush. It's actually pretty nice when you're trying to get crease work done. Speaking of crease work done, I think that's really all I'm gonna do with that shade. Like I said, very minimal, very wearable. Obviously, this eyeshadow brush is amazing for getting that super structured, detailed crease, but I need this to be more blown out. So naturally, we're gonna use the flame brush for that. I guess because it kind of looks like a flame. Maybe that's why it's a flame brush. I'm not adding any pigment to the brush or anything. I'm just gonna go right around these edges and really buff that out so it's super smoky. Ooh, that's kind of nice. It's got a little bit of a point to it. So as it's doing the really blown out blending, I can also get really controlled with it because I can feel where it's touching. That's coming along nicely. Just keep buffing, just keep buffing, just keep buffing, buffing, buffing. What do I do? Then we can go back in with the controlled brush, reapply a little bit of color where we might have blended it out too much. Then again with our flame brush, right over the top. Yeah, that is so much better. Using the detail brush now, I'm gonna deepen everything up throughout the crease using the shade Punk. Okay, for the most part, I kept that in the crease, but I did add just a little bit of a flick on the outer edge to make it sort of a wing shape, and I'm so glad I did. I really like that. Now just right back in with the eyeshadow brush, not adding any new pigment, but just going across that line and buffing out those edges. And I gotta tell you, this combo right here, these two brushes together, this is like the power couple from high school. You know the ones, they're still married after like 30 years. And to highlight a little bit and soften the blend even further, we're gonna use the shadow brush, but this time it's gonna be in the shade Weekender, this like light creamy shade. And I'm just gonna blend out all these edges with that shade. Pop a little bit over here in the inner corner, a little bit on the brow bone, then just buff, buff, buff. Okay, the angle on this brush makes it perfect for this. That little edge that it's got right there, she fits right here, just perfect. They call this one the concealer brush, but I'm gonna use it as a shimmer brush. So for shimmer, I think I wanna use the shade Blazed here. I don't think I've ever used that shade. Oh, you know what? This might be named concealer because you could cut the crease with it. It does seem like a pretty good, flat, sharp brush to be able to cut the crease with. Too small for me to use for that purpose though, so I probably won't ever use it for that. Then for the outer half of the lid, I'm gonna use the shade Double Life. I'm using the same brush though, not cleaning it off or anything, because I don't really mind if these two shimmers mix together a little bit. That'll be completely okay. Detail brush again with some more of the shade Punk, just on the outer V. Brow brush time, and I'm gonna use the Gerard Cosmetics Brow Bar To Go powder. Let's go into one of these, and we're just gonna make some little hair strokes. This brush is a little thick for brow strokes in my opinion, but you know, we'll see. We'll see how intense it is. Usually if they're thicker at the end, if you just tilt it a little bit when you use it, it can make a sharp line. You just gotta be careful. Okay, so that worked. It got the job done. I have color in my brows now, but it's not my favorite brow brush. I will probably end up just using this one for eyeshadow from now on. Usually I just use this type of brush to mark the line that I want my wing to flow. It just helps shape everything a little bit easier, and it sort of cheats for you because it's already a straight line. That being said, if it was just sharper, it's literally the perfect length to be able to make those strokes like hair, but it's just a little too thick for me, personally. And last but certainly not least, the lip brush. As you can probably tell, I've already gone in with a lip liner, and for the lips, we're going to use the Urban Decay Vice Lip Chemistry. This one's in the shade Heavy. Oh, it's Stay Naked Vice Lip Chemistry. Didn't know that. You know, I think you could probably line your lips with this brush because the tip is so sharp. It applies product really, really well, but being able to get that sharp lip line, you know, this nice clean edge, once that brush is saturated, it gets sharp. I was kind of hoping though that I could also blend with it, so I could blend my lip line in with the rest of it, but I don't know if that's gonna happen. By the time the lip chemistry finishes deepening my lips, I might not need to anyway. I'm totally happy with that. The blend is so good. Yay, okay. After using this entire brush set, gotta hand it to One Leaf. That's a great set. And it's crazy because aside from the sponge, the only other tool I used was a foundation brush. That was the only other tool I needed. So it's a pretty complete brush set. I'm gonna go ahead and finish off the rest of this makeup, come back with my finished look and my final thoughts on the brush set. And we are back with the finished look. You guys, these brushes for $12. $12. They're pretty good. Honestly, if it even would have just been lavender brushes with just like black or white handles, I probably wouldn't have been as excited about them, but look at that. That is just so cool. I love those colors, how it looks like the oil slick, and the quality of the actual bristles is fantastic. They're super, super soft, very synthetic, but super, super soft. And at that $12 price tag, I really don't mind if some of the bristles are a little bit longer, because I can go right in with some of those scissors and cut it right away. Now granted, they did send these over and the nail brush set, which I can't wait to get into, over completely free of charge. So thank you so much, One Leaf. I'm so glad we got to experience using the brushes together. Again, the only one that really just didn't fit what their description was the brow brush. And I feel like if a brow brush isn't as thin as a piece of paper, it shouldn't be called a brow brush. Unless you just fill your brow in with color all the way. And if you do, that's fine. This would work perfect then. But if you like the little individual hair strokes, that brush is not the one for it. That being said, I'd like to thank you guys for joining me for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to give me a thumbs up just to let me know. Also, if you like this look and you want to see more looks like them, you can follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, and TikTok. My username is the same for everything. It's just ChristopherJMUA. I love you guys so much, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!